Yeah, I'm good because you know what that's some good in stuff. Not what I was saying. Hello, guys. I will not wait for anybody. I'm just wanting to cover the story. Sendete Maake ka Ncube. Aptison Brajuel. Yesterday we got a new name. Okay, his middle name is Jewel. So Brajuel Rekahiso is said to be in a divorce process again, once again. As I'm saying again because it's not the first time. And also it's again because it's not the first time this particular marriage is said to be in trouble on the rocks. If you remember last year, I can't remember the month, it was said that he was supposed to have gone to Pearl's family to go and finalize everything. You know, sometimes as Africans, Mahadi Hatswile, like our half, we do allow the son-in-law to maybe officiate things in the form of going to sign, because it sounds like that is what they may have done. They went to sign and officiate their union. So, but the lobola thing is said to not have been finalized. So you do know how lobola is a fela. You still have to go and finalize the lobolas, and the gifting and all those ceremonies must be done and finalized so that in our African culture, the union can be blessed by both families. So it's like the last leg of the Lobola negotiations, not even negotiations. I think it was Lobola payment, but the last part, because it's like he has paid part of the Lobola. So he was supposed to go and finalize last year. And now there were rumors that he did not pitch at Pearl's family. You can imagine the embarrassment that Pearl may have had if that was true, but it sounded like it was true because once they had fixed things, he came back and said, Pearl is the only Mrs. Maake that he knows. That was his response. He never responses to he never responded to rumors not being true. So he never said, hey, media is lying or what. No, he didn't say that. He said Pearl Mbewa is the only Mrs. Maake that I know and recognize. So that was the best response he could give. For after have, having been painted as the groom that did not pitch at Pearl's family on the day that the family was expecting him to come and finalize everything. So, according to yesterday's newspapers, they claim after that incident, he wanted love back from Pearl. And Pearl did give love back. And now together they were okay after that, fixing their lives. And then in the process, sometime along between then and now, Pelle had discovered the conversations between that there's Sello Maake and a lady called Cynthia Hlahla, who's also called Lacoste. And it seemed he was asking some love back from that old flame of his. It is said that him and Cynthia Hlahla had a thing in the past, but whatever thing it was, didn't end in marriage. It was a relationship. And as we speak, they say Cynthia is in America, it's in the States. Now, Mr. Kahiso was trying his luck again with Cynthia. You know that SMS that says, "I still miss you. You have a place in my heart. No one will replace it. You are renting, you're renting free space in my mind." Things like that. It's like there were messages like that, and even with those messages, it sounded like Cynthia was not into that, was not buying into that, because Cynthia was like, Aibo, Mina, I know you to be in love with your wife. So what is this now? What is this? When your ex has been telling the world that they are so happy with the person that they are with at the time, and then later on you receive an SMS or a message that says, "Hey, hey, you are renting free space in my heart," or "You are renting free space in my head." You're like, "Oh, bo, njani, njani," because when now busy, like, you've been telling the world that you love this person, you are in love with this person. Remember the time I gave for in 2022, he was like, "My wife this, my wife that." 2021, 2022, it was like, "My wife this, my wife that, my wife this, my wife that." The most beautiful woman, the what. Yay, guys, we got a picture that he was madly in love and head over heels with Pearl. So all these things are very surprising. All the things that are being said, they sound so untrue, because I man, this is not the picture that he had painted. He painted us a picture of a perfect relationship that has a man that is madly in love with his wife. So it's unlike a man that is madly in love, not to pitch for the lobola, whatever that finalization that needs to happen. It's unlike a man that is madly in love for the Denmark to be having messages with the ex that states things like, "You are renting free space in my head. You'll always be part of my heart." All those things are always love you. So, yeah, we don't know what's going on behind the scenes. Sometimes people get into relationships with all the hopes in the world to make things okay, and they get into relationships, particularly marriage, hoping that one is the last. They're getting into relationships hoping that they're gonna grow old together. As he was telling us, he said he knew that Pearl was the woman for him, and Pearl was the woman that would get old with him. That is what he had literally said at one stage. Now, all these things that are being said right now are just a surprise. And remember, these people got even tattoos. Um, Pale this side, no, this side, this side, this one. It was Pearl's ring, which replaced with the word Sello on the ring finger, and him that he tattooed Pearl. So now I wonder, when things are like this, what's gonna happen to the tattoos? But I've realized that mostly when people are tired of tattoos or they no longer have that meaning, they go and do something else on that finger or that space where they had that tattoo. So their love was even tattooed because they tattooed their names, each on each other's names on their fingers, on their ring fingers. So it really did look like it was gonna end in eternity for as long as they live. Um, we thought death would do them apart, but it looks like it's not the case because now we are hearing new rumors that Ndade Maake has filed for the divorce. Now, the strange part is that Level M was trending yesterday, most part of the day yesterday. He was trending not because he has done anything. Skep said he didn't do a thing, but he was trending because Magega Ncube is divorcing. Aibo, guys. Sabanjani Esauda. Yeah, South Africa. How are we? So it looked like people were comparing him to Level M. We all know that Level M has been on that road of marrying, divorcing for so many times. But on the other hand, I would like to say, as much as it is unconventional to see such people marrying, divorcing, but I really do adore people who are able to prioritize their happiness beyond what people will say. Because clearly, Level M is not a person that says, but what because if he was into Abantu Bazotini, he would be stuck in some loveless marriage where he knew his heart is no longer there, just for the sake of Abantu Bazotini. So, as much as what they are doing, we don't understand, we must remember that we don't live them, we don't live with them in their homes. We don't know what's going on in their homes. We also don't know their own personalities. They could be the problems one of themselves in the marriages, or they could be unlucky and getting people that do not match with them to live with on a day to day, because marriage is a day-to-day thing in which you have to wake up in the morning and choose your partner. So sometimes it's not possible. You may choose the partner, but the partner may not choose you. They may wake up and not choose you for that day. But actually, marriage is about waking up in the morning and choosing that person, choosing to live life with that person for that day and another continuously. So we don't know. We wish them the best in whatever is happening. If this is all a lie, maybe they want to bring him back into some character. That will be best. That will be good news, in fact. Um, because remember, she is into Pell. Pell is into arts as well, but more on the working behind the scenes. She is good with publicity. She knows how to publicize people. She's good with publicity. So we don't know if the news that we're getting right now are truly the news that true, or maybe this could just be one of those publicity stunts to make Ndate Maake get attention again, as maybe he's preparing to get some role. Let's hope that is the case, because if it's another divorce, guys, your divorce is not nice at all. Hello, Edith, Nomusa, thank you, but those are not the right stars, my love. Those are the wrong, wrong, wrong stance. But thank you for just the thought. It's a thought that counts, guys. I am not okay at all. Yeah, I just wanted to talk about this. I also wanted to talk about Agnes, but I think I'll do it tomorrow. There are new news. There are news on Agnes Kumuti, that lady that was deleting all members of the family, including her last son. Sorry, ish, black people. He's and his, struggling with his and his. So I also wanted to go live and talk about that, but I prefer that I do separate videos so that a person can choose to a topic that they want to look at and watch it instead of making one long video with different topics. Um, yeah, I prefer to do separate videos like that. So yeah, as for Tate and Pearl, they say, oh, one other thing that I learned from this story, Sapel and Ntate Maake, if it is true, they say 13 years back, Pearl had bought herself a house and abanyalwa ke Ntate Maake. So by the time she married Ntate Maake, she was wise enough not to sell the house, but she rented it out. And they say right now she has moved back to her house. At first, when you're renting people out, when you're renting a house, you can't just say, now that things are bad for you, you can't just say to people, please go away. They say she moved back into her family home with her parents, and then later on, she went back to her house. So the next thing about it is an important lesson is if this story is true, women should learn that no matter how madly in love you are, if you have got your own things like your own car, your own home, no matter how madly in love you are, getting into a relationship with a person that maybe has those or can afford to afford you those, maybe they can afford to buy you another house, another car. Do not destroy yours. Do not sell yours. Do not get rid of yours. Keep them. Keep yours because you never know what tomorrow holds. Just in case, keep them safe. Rent them out if you have to for rainy days because there are so many things that can happen that can turn your life upside down. At least you need to have a shelter to go to. So, if everything is true, then Pearl was wise not to sell her house because she has managed to go back to it. So that is a plus on her side instead of going to start afresh. Guys, some of us are starting life afresh. I want to tell you it's hell. It is hell. Ebo it's my hell. Back the hill. Back what is. And for some of us, all these things are happening while we are now very older. So it's better if things like this happen when you are still younger, when you still have got the energy, when you still have got opportunities in front of you. At our age, opportunities are less. At 51, it's difficult to even get a job because there are young people that are lined up that need to be in a job. So if you are the employer, here am I with my 51 years old, and then there is a 25-year-old. Who would you hire? If I was the employer, I would also hire the 25-year-old because the 25-year-old is still promising, still fresh, still has got the energy. Yes, I come with experience, loads of experience, but is it enough? And when will the 25-year-old get the experience if I am going to stand in the way and, ke kwale mnyako? Because a 25-year-old can easily learn and get experience and maybe exceed my experience in terms of what is contemporary right now. Like, for instance, I may not be technology savvy. I may not be able to use the technology now. Let us make an example with teaching. I am a teacher. I'm looking for a job in teaching. Would you hire me at 51? Knowing that education is taking a direction of a hybrid. Hybrid means we are combining the learning, the day to day learning in class with the online learning with the ICT. We are integrating ICT in there. If here I am at 51 and there is a 25-year-old, who would you hire as the principal of the school? Thinking about the ICT that needs to be integrated in classes, in lessons right now, in the curriculum. Do you see what I'm talking about? So it's difficult when things like this happen at your old age because you still do need your income. Just because you are older doesn't mean you don't need income. Or very few people at my age have got loads of cash stashed somewhere. Many of us have got things that happened along the way that made sure that saving is a thing of the past. Saving is a thing that cannot happen. So now starting afresh in the 40s, 50s is harder than starting afresh in your 20s and 30s. So, guys, what we can learn from these people, instead of talking about them as, oh, divorce, and what, think about this way. These people are giving you um, an example that it is possible to always step back, think about yourself, choose your happiness. If you are not happy, if you do know for sure, do not be afraid to leave that relationship. Go out, go start your life afresh. You'll be fine, you'll survive. Rather than be in an environment where the two of you can no longer coexist in peace, but now you are forcing things just for the sake of abantu bazothi. So I think we really do need to look at it that way. Then we will stop judging when people say they are divorcing. Forget about God that hates divorce. Forget about that because He has allowed so many people to divorce before. He won't he won't come for you. Who are you in? Because like there have been loads and loads of people divorcing and they are okay. They are okay. Does God want you miserable or does God want you happy? Think about it that way instead of thinking, hey, God hates divorce. God hates fighting as well. He hates you fighting. He also hates you using muti on each other just because you wanna stay together. You wanna force ngwana batho hore a be ntho eo wena o batlang ho ba yona. Because some people are busy. Hey guys, yeah, muti on yes, sis, these days people are like on muti. People are using muti on others, forcing others to stay in relationships where they wanna live. And then people say, children. Let us stop hiding behind children because we all know why you are there. There's got zero to do with the children. It's not about the children, it's about you. Obuwa nnete, you are living in that relationship. It's not about the children. It is about you. You are making it about the children. It's not actually about the children. Because if you really, really think about the children, you will never expose them to a loveless relationship. You will never expose them to a marriage and an environment in which there is no peace because you are affecting them more than you can if you leave. Thank you so much about that. Hi, Princess Wakoti. Thank you, my dear. Thank you. And thank you, everybody that is watching. And good night.